trying to, marketing's job. I mean, you can say a lot of different things, but we try to make your job easier. If you get better qualified leads, the close rates go up, makes you look good, right? Even if you get more leads, there's more activity, more names of the pipeline, right? And then you can work with sales teams to work those leads. But when people say like we're not getting enough leads here, well, what's the problem, right? Maybe it's the marketing message or the website, and we'll go through that. Because at the end of the day, you're building trust. And that's why I talk about marketing. Don't think it's website, SEO, and all these. We'll talk about that a little bit. But, at the end of the day, you're selling trust to close. I'm selling trust to enter a funnel, basically. Talk B2B here. Solve a problem, intrigue me, and then we become a lead. So I'm going to go through this process and share my screen, just kind of how I did it. And then we can talk about it later on, maybe even some use cases. All right. Okay. Here's the sales team, right? We're following up. We're managing the CRM. We're calling lists. We're networking. We're qualifying. We're researching. We're looking upsell. We're closing. But we want more qualified leads, don't we? I want to talk about high-level B2B buyers and how a lot of what they do eventually lead to a website to make a decision. This is Gartner research. You've seen there's so many different variations of customer journey. So it's really pretty similar here with from Gartner here. And, problem identification at a company. This is even before they talk to salespeople, remember, hey, we could use a better blank or an upgraded blank and, that kind of thing. Well, what are we going to do? Well, maybe there's something out there to solve a problem. Joe, go to the internet and see if you can find better accounting software or something, right? Again, we haven't talked to salespeople yet. This is like stuff happening inside a company that might be, a trigger event, going to Google and doing a search for, how to do blank. Usually there are research keywords, and we'll go through that later on. How, what, why. See if we can do it ourselves, see what's out there. Oh, here's a guide, things like that. But, you want to have the specs of what you're looking for. Eventually, you're going to, decide what suppliers you want to choose. Again, we're not filling out forms yet or contacting the salespeople yet. This is called demand generation. Eventually they're going to go to websites and look at websites and try to validate what they're looking for. And then eventually they say, well, here are the 3 or 4 companies we like. So now we'll contact sales, but the website's got to sell that first. Here's an easier way to look at it. Well, actually, here's some research on B2B buyers here that, they all go online before making purchase decisions. We know that, right? All these different, I don't have to read all this, but you understand that they want to do the research first before they end up going to a salesperson, because they have to make decisions on who to choose. So here's another simpler way to look at how everybody gets to a website and reads a website to make a decision. A company like this is a simpler way to look at it. Company identifies a problem, so they find a solution. Go to find it. Click to a website. Buyer knows there's an easier, better, or more effective way. They stumble on it because they stumbled on an ad or an email that teases the solution. Oh, here's a better way to do this. You're solving a business problem, so I might intrigue myself, so I'm going to go to a website. Maybe there's an offer. How about outbound? Buyer gets a call from an SDR or a salesperson. They listen to the message. Yeah, right. But during the call, I'm still going to look at the website and see who you guys are. And if they're close to making a final decision, they're going to review vendors. And how they do that, they click on websites to validate. And we'll go through a lot of that stuff. But does that make sense? I mean, no matter what we're doing in sales or if companies have trigger events that are going on, someone's going to go to a website and try to be convinced that this is the solution for them, even before they call salespeople. So I always talk about convincing. This is like a high level look at, the mindset of people who are looking to make business decisions. We're always convincing in business and marketing. We're convincing to pay attention. Choose me. Convinced to click. and convinced to submit a form, whether it's a guide or free consultation, free trial. Somewhere they're being convinced to click and sign up if we did our job in marketing right. Then once they submit the form, what happens next? We continue the handoff to salespeople, right? Or maybe SDRs or BDRs, qualify them. And then eventually, hopefully down the road, you do proposals. You convince them to do a proposal and you convince them to buy. It's all equal, marketing and sales together. Marketing has to convince top of the funnel, sales convinces bottom of the funnel. It all works together. It's not one or the other. So we're talking about website here mostly because versus other things, but if you have a great focused website, more leads. That's it. Here's some older stats from 2015. It's hard to find them, but 46% of people leave a website because of lack of message. A bad experience makes users 80% less likely to visit the website again. That's how important a website is. Don't take it for granted. The better you persuade, it increase the conversion rate. And what a conversion rate is, for anybody who doesn't know, it's just basically how many people visit a website versus how many people actually fill out a form or contact you. That percentage is a conversion rate. The better persuaded you are, and the more convincing you are, the higher conversion rate. And that's where it comes to message and things like that. So again, it goes back to the short list now, right? Because buyers are determining vendors to make contact with. Does the message confirm the solution to my needs? Do they list industries that relate to mine? Does the leadership team have credentials? Do I trust them? If you have a pricing model, does it make sense for my budget? That's like if you're SaaS, for example. Is the content interesting and compelling and relatable to my needs? And are the case studies and testimonials believable? These are examples of people that are trying to make an informed decision before they click on that almighty contact us button, right? So we get a little deeper dive in the messaging of a properly focused website. And what's your business about? Strong images, key messages on the top of the page, confirm to prospects what you do and how you help. I only have a few seconds to make a decision. Why is your business different? I'm looking at different companies. Showcase key points that are relevant to the buyer. Why should they care? Remember, it's not about what you do. It's how you solve a problem of a prospect. That's the message. Features are okay, but you still got to talk about the benefits and the outcomes. Continue to convince because you can help solve problems. I remember, the old Zig Ziglar line, you're not selling drill bits, you're selling holes. This website. Contact us. Like I mentioned, the benefits need to outweigh the features and attributes. I know I need a thing. What are the benefits of buying that thing from you? Feature outweigh benefit. Benefits outweigh features, I mean. And from a look, feel perspective, design, anybody's got their own opinions, but, it's got to be consistent style. You don't want to make it look like it's done by junior person or whatever. It's got to look good, you guys are, it's got to be professional. Whether it's images or cartoons, whatever, it just got to have the similar theme, high quality, organized menus, and a strong contact us button. All about user experience. Contact us. Little things for a company, do you have certifications, awards, badges, just little things like that. You've seen them a lot on websites, as seen in the Wall Street Journal. Well, maybe somebody mentioned you one time. Put that in there, right? All about little bits of conversion optimization tactics, as we call it, like mentioned in the press. As seen in, you've seen that. But there's just little things that just kind of do the big picture, key testimonials, a good social media following. If you're going to any website that still has Google Plus, why is that even there? Remember that? So look at those icons. They have Twitter following 10 followers. Don't even show it, like just because it came with the WordPress theme. If you have a good following, that's fine. But, don't make it a negative. And your leadership team. I know a lot of websites like hide their leadership team, like I like to know who I'm buying from. I like to know who the leaders are, show their bios. And of course, even like free trials, if you're going to be a SaaS program or whatever it is, sometimes it's good to try before you buy. All those things still contribute to the big picture, the conversion rate increase. Contact us. Contact us. Again, looking trustworthy and reliable, testimonials, certifications, industry badges, it just proves you're legitimate and trustworthy. They better be on the website. All your hungry salespeople rely on this stuff, right? All those salespeople. Where are the certifications, boss? All right. That's a high level look at the website. Okay. So now I want to go to this sales guy. Hey, marketing department, I need more leads. Hey, Google, whatever, right? That's what happens a lot. We're not getting enough leads from marketing. Well, we're trying to work on that, right? We can skip this part. This is like a calculator I have on my website, just to set benchmarks. We can talk more about that, but let's go to Google here. Some stats: 71% of B2B researchers begin their research with generic Google searches. 90% of B2B researchers who are online use search specifically to research business purchases. If you're not visible on Google, you need to be, of course. And this is important. 75% of searchers never go beyond the first page, which makes sense to me. Here's an example, by the way, and then we'll talk more about the dreaded SEO and other things like that. I just did this search out of the blue, but I'm going to show you examples of various searches. No, this is like a CRM. Like, oh, we have a CRM. Let's try to get on Google, right? You can do paid search ads here. Now, this is interesting. I wasn't going to show this. What the heck, right? Pipeline CRM is a tool trusted by 20,000 businesses. So there you go. But number 2, top 5 CRM, number 4, top 10. They're not companies at all. They're like affiliate marketers buying search. And anybody know what affiliate marketer is? Like they build websites specifically to write content and then listings. And then when people click on those ads or their listings and then click on a CRM to buy it, they get credit and make money. So that's an affiliate marketer. It's worth, I have another client myself that's interested in this. I mean, it's a way to get influential writers who do this to promote your product and things like that. It's just something worth looking into. So I wanted to show it. And then you have your organic, mostly directories and affiliates again. Zapier's got an article, PC Mag. Of course, that drill, right? With these affiliates, got to put 2021 in there. Soon it's going to go 2022, the best CRMs to use in 2022, right? Because Google likes the current articles and they bring them up. One of those tactics. CRM.org, Sales Flyer, best, a lot of these organizations are affiliates. They do a lot of SEO and they hope people click them and then buy through those links, those special links. So it's a win-win for everybody. So if you can't, the point is, if you can't get on, this is very competitive, your CRM. Now it all depends on the product or service you guys represent, but this is just an example of a competitive field, with a lot of affiliate marketers trying to get people to buy through their sites. But generally, and their Zoho is very popular, and they're not on the first page because of all that competition. They're on page 2. So it's really, some strategy on SEO. It's to drive website traffic for keywords likely to show on first page within 6 months. Low competition, but targeted long tail phrases, which are, best CRMs for small business might be your phrase instead of just best CRMs, that kind of thing. But I guess the point of the matter, what I was getting into more in SEO, it's not about, people love to throw out the SEO word left and right. Hey, we got a new website. How's your SEO coming along? Like, it's like nothing, it's just a lot of work to get on the first page. If you can't do it, you can't do it. So you got to be realistic on that, really. So some things about the paid search the right way is, does your ad offer a solution to a search query? So there's 2 kinds of Google searches. There's a how query, which is like we showed before with companies. How do we do this? What better way to do this, right? They're not looking for a company yet, but they're like kind of mid-funnel. They're trying to do internet research. I could do it through LinkedIn. They can do it through Reddit. They can do it through Quora, whatever. They can do it through Google. They're doing research. Somebody was assigned a job to find something to make their business life a little bit easier, right? So that's where content comes in, right? Because like we just saw, different articles, they're called lead magnets. We'll cover that in a second. They're not ready to contact the company yet or do a trial, but they're just doing research, and this is a way to get them into the funnel. Then the need solution query, that's the bottom funnel offer. That's like queries for companies and, I need software, I need a company, I need a vendor, I need a firm, I need a solution, right? So they don't need the content there. That's where the importance of the website and landing pages to convince, because they're doing that kind of research. Really, we just get into detail here with ads, not to get too much in the weeds, but, the keywords you buy and the ads landing pages all have to be relevant to each other, or else you're wasting money. And again, promote the benefits and key features in a strong offer. So this is a little bit more on SEO, I guess, for the salespeople who just want to know, how come we're not on Google? Well, here's how it works. If you're number one on Google, don't say it's because your name is number one. Of course it is, right? But the unbranded keywords are ones that don't include your name. But again, you got to make sure, the SEO company's got to say, this is realistic or not realistic, right? Otherwise, you might have to do the influencer marketing and other things. You don't want to pay SEO companies who, I know some great ones that work well for me, but you got to let the process work. But, rank doesn't mean anything unless people are clicking converting. Goes back to the website again, doesn't it? It's not about rank, it's about leads. Remember that. Here's a little bit of how we get people through the funnel through education, which is very important. Another buyer's journey. So you want to have, landing pages for all your marketing tactics, a really strong landing page, strong call to action, and a really strong offer that's, high value. Again, I'm not going to, remember, we're doing a trade-off here for your potential prospects, right? And we're saying, this content, whether it's a webinar or a content, it's so relevant to my business need that I'm going to make this deal with you. It's like Monty Hall. Here's my email address because I need to read it. Okay. And I know someone's going to call me and someone's going to start getting all these emails, but the content is so irresistible to help solve my business problem and the trust that I'm reading that I'm going to do it. I need to learn. So that's what we're talking about here, lead magnets. It's free. Well, you got to pay to produce it, but and promote it, but it's but nobody buys it. It's free. It's a free guide. You're starting to build trust with prospects, that how to solve business problems. We see it all the time on websites, right? Download this because we think we can help solve your business problem and learn more about it. Ebooks, white papers, how-to guides, webinars, checklists, even newsletters. I'm not giving up my email address unless the website, the messaging, everything comes together and says, I could use this. I could use it. You win. You get my email address. So yeah, they got to be targeted, very helpful, solve a business problem, of course. Actionable, does it describe how to solve a business problem? And you got to be unbiased, except for maybe the last page, about Beacon, but we don't want to feel like I'm being sold to, you're just trying to solve problems. That's trust. Okay. Don't make it really long. I like them 8 to 10 pages max. Focus. It's just focus. And again, like I said, impressive. Show your expertise, prove your authority, and it's a good lead magnet. Here's an example of how we can get leads to salespeople, right? So you got your target market, your ICPs, you got a strong messagery research, and salespeople help us with messaging, by the way. We have always liked to know, how you got into the funnel, what problems you have, and even objections. Why don't, we just want to learn as much as we can because that helps us create new content based on what problems we're solving, and salespeople are a big help with that. And then the offer with download, free trial, consultate, whatever it is. We market through traffic sources, email lists, outbound, inbound. And then, the ultimate lead magnet and the authority amplifiers is basically the follow-up cadences. I'll show you an example of that. The emails and the follow-ups. And then the conversion event, which is free demo, contact us, generate a lead for the salespeople. So there's all these different authority amplifiers. And I use that because you're building trust. It's all about trust. Trust me. Anyway, there's different levels here. Grab someone's attention, communicate the outcome of what you're trying to do. Show proof. So examples of industries you've solved problems with. Even show testimonials in these emails, I guess, or phone calls as well, or combination. Talk about, restate problems that companies have and how you solve them. Walk through the steps of how you solve their problems. Step 1, step 2, step 3. This is how we work, and those kind of things. Show examples. Action. Show examples of how, again, other results you've had, and with a direct call to action. You've gotten all this. You have a problem. We're trying to segue people from consideration to desire, right? So, and that's just kind of high level stuff here as far as an organization of how to, feed your salespeople by using lead magnets and building trust through time, through a cadence of emails until someone clicks on something, says, this is interesting to me. Let's talk. So yeah, you can plan these cadences either way. I mean, every company does it differently. And, whether it's a sales or a marketing cadence through different tools, emails, and just plan the delays. If somebody downloads lead magnet, I don't mind getting a phone call within a week. I may not answer it, but at least we tried, so thanks for downloading the ebook. Can I help you with anything? Would you like a free trial? Whatever it is, give it a shot, and then let the emails and the trust start occurring as people start reading these. And the only ones that are interested are ones going to open it, of course. If they're not, that's why you need a lot of emails, because, it's not like it's, you got to optimize the open rate, test email subject lines, things like that. That gets in the weeds, but it's still part of the process. Maybe you have another magnet. You did an ebook the first time around, then maybe we do a webinar after that, just to get them, more engaged. There's a lot of CRMs right now. You can, if people click to websites, depending on how sophisticated a CRM is, you can get notified and salesperson calls. Hey, this contact visited 3 pages on our website. Call them, Joe. That kind of thing. They might be more engaged. There's all trigger events that happen here. Hopefully, eventually, after the initial cadence, if they still haven't contacted you, keep them in there. You put them in a new cadence, like monthly. Just stay top of mind. Does that make sense? So in summary, this is it, right? Marketing and sales together. Building awareness, capture leads, qualify prospects, make them marketing qualified. And then once sales calls them, they qualify them as well. And then hopefully those people will become opportunities and then customers. But that's how a funnel works. If you're just focused on the bottom part without the bottom, you're missing a lot. Marketing and sales have to work together. We're like one department. We're revenue growers. All roads lead here. Request a quote or purchase. If everything's optimized, your message, design, conversion rates increase, and that means more sales and revenue. Any questions?
Paul, I just want to say that was great. And I couldn't agree with you more from a sales point of view. As we spoke about the other week, I mean, it's so interrelated. Without good marketing, there really is not a good sales effort, in my opinion. And it's really the beginning of the funnel that's most important to make it all click, because you're really defining what's out there in the market. What's the value prop for that product, really, is what it comes down to. So great presentation. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a message that we're always trying to communicate is marketing and sales together. We're revenue growers. Increase your revenue. Here's marketing, here's sales. We work together. Shouldn't be in silos. We need to work together. Anyone else?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. That was you did a nice job and provided a lot of things to think about. What would be like the next? Because this was a broad overview, a very good one, but a broad overview of many different aspects of the marketing and sales process. What do you recommend would be the next logical step for somebody that wanted to, go get a little deeper into some of these processes that you've that you've opened the door to today.
Well, are you a sales coach?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess if you want a deeper call, I mean, we can certainly plan a one-on-one and go through some of your questions. Maybe we look at, your own pipeline, your CRM, where leads are coming from, or your clients, or, I mean, it gets a deeper strategy of, let's look at the website, let's look at your strategy, your messaging, all those kinds of things I brought up. That's what I do really, is take a deep dive into all these different elements and see how we could optimize conversion rate. Because
Right.
that's really
Right.
what it is, right? And including retention as well. I mean, really, what is the revenue growth formula? It's increase your website conversion rate, plus increase your sales conversion rate, plus increase your retention conversion rate. If you do that, because you always want to keep your clients happy or upsell them and things like that. So you put all those things together, that's revenue growth. There should be a strategy for each one. The sales coaches, coach higher closing rates, right? Generally, of course, there are many other things, but it's still about increasing a closing rate and making revenue, right? Marketing's the same thing, and it's not the website guy, it's not the the junior manager. This is strategic here. This is strategic, right? And that's what I'm trying to get at. Is it starts in the top? Is how are you building trust? How are you getting people to pay attention to you? Because you know what, you're probably missing a lot of leads if your marketing isn't optimized. They're going to say, skip next company, skip next company. You could have had them, right?
Absolutely. Where are you located, Paul? I'm just curious. Are you in the Delaware Valley area?
I am. I'm in Delaware County.
Oh, okay. So am I.
Springfield.
Good. Oh, I'm in Broomall. Okay.
Marple, 1980 graduate.
Nice. Marple's right down the street from me. I live off 320.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to reach out to you.
Yeah, I'll see you at the Country Squire.
There you go.
Or Joe's Pizza. Anyway.
Either one. I can walk to either one of them.
Oh, cool. All right. What else, everybody?
Well, first of all, thanks for that overview, Paul. I think it was well said. And though we had a smaller group today, I think it was good information to be shared.
It pointed out all the things I'm not currently doing well, so it was helpful.
Yeah, my question is kind of a selfish one because we've been talking about revamping the Beacon website a little bit. It's more on the testimonial side. You touched on it very briefly, but sometimes I see websites where the testimonials are so generic. Paul and his team did a great job. They made my life so much easier. Okay, but how? What did they do? Why would that translate to my business? But sometimes there may be, I don't know, maybe there's not. Maybe there's a danger in being too specific. It's because it doesn't then apply to the problem that person might be having. So what's your thoughts on those?
Well, I think it depends on what you get. If you want to try to get testimonials from clients, ask them what to include. Sometimes people are just lazy and just write that. And, people are busy, they don't have a whole lot of time to do that. But I'm going to be honest, a lot of those things are maybe seen but not read. It's kind of like window dressing in a way. But it's better to have them than not. Do people study testimonials? Maybe some would. And all those badges, but they see them. They know that they have, some of these companies, Facebook's our client. I see that's BS, but there's all these things about logos and as seen in the news and the testimonials, the case studies, also things like that. They're all contribute to, should I fill out the form or should I leave? Every form should have like a testimonial or something under it to remind them that we have clients and we've been successful. Submit. It's all about click, submit. That's it. Every little thing that can be the difference between yay and nay.
Yeah, so kind of reinforcing their decision.
Yeah.
To keep going forward.
Beacon is the premier executive networking organization serving the Mid-Atlantic region. To learn more, go to beaconforlife.org.